I wrote my mother a poem 4 years before I even qualified for the Olympics. And the end of the poem, it says, I know the Olympics was your big dream. So for you, I'm going to get there on the Olympic boxing team. Now, bearing in mind, in the previous 8 years, there'd only ever been 3 boxers from all of Great Britain went to the Olympics. But I had my goal, I had my vision, I knew my path, and I knew exactly what I wanted to do and had to do to achieve this goal. My goal was always to go to the Olympic Games, and in 2008 I did that, but I didn't just go to the Olympics. I went there and I come back with a medal. And to achieve your goal in boxing, it's very hard. There's some specific things that you've got to do, that you've got to work on to achieve your goal and to become an elite level fighter. If you're just going to the gym, working out on the bag, and you haven't really got a goal, and then you might have a fight and you might lose, or you might be just trying to get better at boxing, but you're not, guess what? You're not going to become an elite level fighter. You're not going to become better. You're not going to be able to reach your full potential in boxing if you're doing that. And on this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do, not just to set a goal for yourself, which you definitely should have every single time you go to the gym, but also how to achieve your goals just like I did. And if you're new to this channel, my name's Tony Jeffries. I'm an Olympic medalist boxer, like I said. I'm a former undefeated professional. I won 7 national titles, a European gold medal, which is all part of my goals, what I'm going to tell you all about. And on this YouTube channel, I give you everything boxing. So if you're serious about getting better at boxing, you need to subscribe and hit that bell notification, and you get more great videos like this one. Okay, let's get straight into it. When I first started boxing when I was 10 years old, I always had like the Olympic Games on my radar, and I was thinking that would just be a dream come true to be able to go there. But deep down, I didn't think I would be able to achieve that. I was a 10, 11-year-old kid getting up to no good, playing outside with my friends in the streets of Sunderland, and no one from Sunderland had ever been to the Olympic Games. And it was very, very, very rare for a British fighter to go to the Olympic Games. So I just started off, so it was like, yeah, that would be great, but you know, I never thought I would be able to do it. And even one step before that, when I was even younger, when I was about 6 or 7 years old, I remember sitting watching the Olympics with my mum, and my mother said to me, Tony, you know, when I was a kid, I always wanted to go to the Olympics. And my mum didn't even play sports. It's just something that people would dream of doing. But I went to the boxing gym, I was boxing, I was in and out of the sport at the ages of 10 and 11, till I had my first fight when I was 11, which I lost, which might surprise you. Then I lost my second fight as well, which again might surprise you. And right there, I could have quit, but I didn't. I had a goal, and my goal right then was to win my next fight. I had a fight a few weeks later, so I was training as hard as I could to try and achieve this goal, and I did it. I won my next fight. And then I was like, wow, because I had this goal, I had this vision, and this is what I wanted to do, I won a fight. And then I had another goal, which is to win another fight, and I did that. And then I got entered into the schoolboy national championships. And here's where a lot of people make mistakes with goals. You know, the goal is to win the national championships, right? Obviously that's what I want to do, but I didn't want to look past my first opponent, because if I looked past my first opponent and I start looking at the quarterfinals, semifinals, the finals, and then I would have forgot what was in front of me, and then I would never have achieved the goal of winning the tournament. So I focused on my opponent. That's all I focused on. Nothing else mattered in the world to me apart from beating this guy who was in front of me. I beat him. Then the next time in the quarterfinals, same thing. Focused, my full goal wasn't on the tournament, it was this one person, this one specific fight. And then I won that one, then the next one, then the next one, and then I won the tournament. So now let's talk about setting goals. It might be to win an area title, a national title, a European title, All-American title. It could be go to the Olympic Games, to be a professional world champion. Now I get it, yeah, we all want to reach the highest of highs and be a Floyd Mayweather and floating in money. But you know, let's just get realistic for a second here. So when you figure your goal out, let's say it is winning the national title and you're in America. How do you do that? Now, what you've got to do on goals, which I did for the Olympics, is work backwards. So right here, this is at the top. This is the national champion of USA. Now we've got to break that down and work backwards. We can't just start with down here when you're in the gym working, thinking, I want to be a national champion like this. No, you've got to think this way, right? So the national championships here. To get to that, what you got to do, You've got to win fights in that tournament. But before that, what have you got to do? You've got to enter the tournament. But before that, what you got to do? You've got to have some experience before you enter the tournament. Now, before you do that, what have you got to do? You've got to be in a gym where the coaches believe enough in you to be able to put you in these fights. Now, let's go one step further. How do you get coaches to believe in you that they will put you in these fights? Well, you've got to show dedication. You've got to show that you want it. You've got to show that you can learn. You've got to show that you have got the heart to do this. And once the coach sees them things, and then he will put you in there to get the experience. But let's go one step further. How do you get them things? First thing, you've got to go to the bloody gym. You've got to go to the gym consistently working out, consistently asking questions, consistently working on yourself to get yourself better. Now, what we've just did there, we've got the goal here. We've got to do all of these things before we reach that goal. So first things first is find a gym. Go to the gym, meet the coach, and then start working out and putting everything into your sessions and your learning and your education for boxing. And that right there will start you on the journey. So now just say your goal is to go to the Olympic Games. How do you do that? I've stopped the video. I'm going to take all my clothes off and go into my ice bath right now and tell you about the sponsor of today's video. Oh, it's so cold. And guys, you don't have to get into a 37-degree ice bath to recover. You can go to onnit.com/boxing and get 10% off their entire website. They've got so many different great supplements that will help you recover. They'll help you perform better. They'll help you for your post-workouts, pre-workouts. And this company is legit. There's so much BS out there when it comes to supplements. I would never recommend any BS. I love Onnit. It's recommended by the likes of Joe Rogan, Brendan Schaub, Cowboy Cerrone. So many other great people love a great company like Onnit, like I do. Go to onnit.com/boxing. I can't speak because I'm so cold, and get 10% off their entire website. You will absolutely love it. I guarantee you that. Well, you've got to do all of this stuff, of course, but now the Olympic Games is at the top. So how do you get the Olympic Games? Well, you've got to qualify for the Olympics. How do you qualify for the Olympics? Well, you've got to get selected by your country. How do you get selected by your country? You've got to be the national champion. How do you be a national champion? Well, we've just told you how to be the national champion. So the two big things when you're working from your goal. First one is work backwards. Look at the goal and look what you've got to do to achieve that in the micro. I call it micro things, but it's not. Every single thing that you're doing to achieve your goal in boxing is a big thing. Every time you go to the gym, it's a big thing because you need to be improving. Every time you leave the gym, you need to be recovering. Now, if you're not getting these basic fundamentals right, guess what? You're never going to go to the Olympic Games. You're never going to win a national title because the guys who are winning these tournaments and are having so much success in this, they're doing that all day long. Now, with everything I've just spoke about, I haven't spoke about the most important thing, which is the mindset. You have got to want this more than anything. And I'm going to leave you with an amazing quote that helps me have success in business. But before I tell you this quote, I just want to ask you, what is your goals and ambitions? Please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what my subscribers' goals are. Okay, so this is a quote that I want you to think of and keep in your mind all the time. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Like I mentioned about recovery, you can click here and get my full video on the best ways to recover from boxing training. Click here. This video is full of value that you're going to love. Click here.